Hello, this is Edith Newmeyer, and I'm the author of the book, The Mystery of Adam. I want to add another section to my playlist. Today, I'm going to talk about my travels. And so I'm going to probably add a lot more um, to this playlist of travel. A couple of weeks ago, went uh, to Peru to hike on the Inca Trail. And I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I thought I'd better hurry up and do it before I get too old or too much older. And it was a hard 3.5 days. I was a little, kind of scared about it, but I thought I was prepared, but I really wasn't prepared for what um, was coming. Now you can see here my group, and we were about 14 in the group, and most people in my group were under 40 years old. There was me, there was a 50-year-old, which I try to stay with because it made my trip a lot easier, and then her husband, who was 45, and the rest were under 40. And most people that go on the Inca Trail, if you watch the videos, are all under 40. We had an 18-year-old lady with us, and I think that is what really made this Inca Trail hard. And so that's why today I really want to talk about um, going on the Inca Trail for people over 50. Now it is doable, but it is very difficult. It's not only difficult because um, it's 3.5 days, and the first day is um, 8 miles. The second day is 8 miles, and the third day is 10 miles. And then the last day, we only had to hike 2 hours, but it made it very hard. So the reason why it's hard, of course, the second day, you go over a almost 14er. I think it's 13,700. So almost 14. It's actually almost a 4,000 meter high uh, pass. That is not the hard part. The hard part for me, and I'm used to hiking in Colorado. I'm used to. I did 14ers in Colorado, and the hard part was, and I was not prepared for that, is the steps and the paved trails, especially the second and the third day. So, well, let's get started. Um, Again, this is really a trail for people under 40. Of course, if you are, I met 2 women on the trail, so there were maybe 6 groups um, on the trail with us every day. And of the 6 groups, I talked to one lady that was 58. She was a runner, professional runner, and she just, oh my goodness, she ran all over me. And then there was an older lady, 73, and that was it. That's all I saw in older people. So it is very difficult to keep up with these young people, and it is best not to try to keep up. Of course, you have to kind of push yourself, but yet you also need to take time and look at nature. I see these Young people, they do it because they want to keep up, they want to prove that they're fit, and they just go run up. And I think as you get older, you just can't do the running anymore, or even going fast or keeping up, especially with younger people. So that's why I want to do this video, not only to encourage um, older women to maybe do this trail. It was really a great thing to do, but again, I wouldn't want to do it again. If I could do it over again, maybe I would do it again, but I wouldn't want to do it another time. Simply because it was 3 days, and you will see you have to sleep really in a tent. So, well, let's get started because I'm doing this uh, video over because I want to do it in a faster time. So, anyways, here's our group. And this is my roommate. I was really lucky to have a German roommate. And she also was my tent roommate. And here we are getting ready. And you can already see that the trail starts up. That first day was pretty easy for let's say, an average hiker. Okay, average hiker. I'm an average hiker, probably hiking. I'm used to hiking in Colorado, do some higher elevation, and most of the time I'm hiking up. But usually I'm doing maybe 6 miles at the most a day, and then of course I have some rest. But this hike was pretty strenuous, doing 8 miles and 10 miles the last day, so that was pretty strenuous, one day after another, 3 days in a row. But nevertheless, the first day was pretty easy. We had pretty nice dirt trails. The rocks didn't come until the second day. So you can see the people going up. You want to maybe see the porters. That's kind of interesting, with their huge packs on the back. We only had day packs to carry. The porters would carry everything: our tent, our sleeping bags, our mats, our food. So I think that was kind of great. Again, if you an older hiker, just an average older hiker, take your time, take pictures, um, don't feel rushed. The first day we went together, so I think our guides made sure that we stayed together, except maybe the end. I kind of slowed down because they went a little faster than I did. And so it was a pretty good day. The first day was a pretty good day. Also, we had really nice weather. I went in November, and that's when the rainy season starts, and it can be raining, and we were lucky to have 3 days of no rain except our last day, and that was just really, really terrible. But here I am, still happy, everything easy. Well, if you don't want to go on the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu, take the train. I thought I wanted to do the Inca Trail, and I was scared. I was nervous, and I wish I would have known more about the Inca Trail. Again, the pictures you see about the Inca Trail are of younger people doing it, and nobody's talking about, how difficult it is. Everybody's happy. Well, here we have some avocado. It's an avocado tree. So avocados are growing in Peru. Here our first Inca site. So that's what we're seeing on the Inca Trail is the Inca sites. Unfortunately, we didn't have very much time to, explore them. Actually, I didn't. So here we are. This is our guide, our main guide, Washington. And this is Susan, who I try to stay with because she was kind of slower as well, and just taking a rest and still, yeah, this first day was just, I think, really good. Took a lot of pictures, especially that first day, because even though it was 8 miles, it was still, of course, manageable. It was not as steep. So here's another great Inca site. It probably is looking down to this sacred valley. Here's another view. Here's me. So here it's finally going down. That first day was a little up and down. And again, very doable. This is our lunch. We had breakfast, lunch, and dinner almost every day, except the second day they really pushed us until we had lunch in the afternoon until we finished the hike. And that's because, again, the second day is a pretty rough one. But this is our dining tent. We had our breakfast, lunch, and dinner in this tent, and they served pretty good food. It wasn't bad at all. It was pretty good. We had a very international group. You can see here they are all young, of course. There is people from the UK, Canada, Australia, and of course the United States, and then one lady from Germany. So very international. Only 14 people, and still we were really international. Um, our campgrounds were usually on a farm, private farm. Unfortunately, we only had squat toilets. So if you go in, that's what you have to get used to it. Squat toilets, no showers, and you'll see a little more about our camps, our tents. So this is they're building a house here. Again, this is our dining tent. They set this up at lunchtime so we could have lunch. So I think that was pretty good. Played a little soccer here. This is the trail that we're going on. And you can see right here the first day, pretty easy. And we probably stopped around here. And then that was 8 miles. The second day was 8 miles again. And you can see it went straight up. Okay, the second day it went straight up. There is no switchbacks. Okay, it went straight up. We went down a little bit and we camped right here the second day. Then we went up a little bit again. We went down a little, just gradually up, and then down again, and we probably camped around here. And that was 10 miles on the third day. Okay, if I would have known this would have helped me quite a lot. This is pretty. I think this would have been a really good map. So again, right here is almost 4,000 meters, or 14,000, 13,700. So this was the roughest day right here, the second day. The third day was okay. It was doable. Then the fourth day was terrible because it was raining. So yeah. Anyways, this is still the first day. You can see there's some rocks starting, but it's still dirt, which is so much easier for me to hike on. I have such a hard time hiking on these rock steps and rock trails, which you will see here soon. Again, just a little break, little donkey break. Here's one of our porters just sitting there taking a break. You can see the big backpack that they're carrying. One of our little breaks. Here's an old lady. Can you see that? Barefooted. Have these things on their back. They're like, I don't know, some sacks. And look how small little lady carrying a big sack. Everybody's looking at her feet. What is she doing? No shoes? The first day we kind of went through a lot of little villages. So we still met some people, Inca people. So this was the town, the last town. And here we go up a little bit already. Even the first day it was a little up. So I kind of slowed down on the ups. And here was our first stop. This is where we slept. You can see right there we got water every day for washing our hands. I have a little washcloth and I washed myself a little bit with the warm water they gave us. You can see our tent right here. We had 2 mats. I had a thermal rest. I brought a thermal rest with me. That kind of helped a little bit for insulation. And then the sleeping bag. And at night, the second night, I finally realized to fill up my water bottle with hot water and put it in my sleeping bag. And that really helped me. That was a really great thing to do. Again, squat toilets. One for everybody. So that was kind of difficult. I'm so glad it didn't rain because can you imagine rain? And oh, that would have been so miserable, so miserable. I think the camping every night, 3 nights camping was just really difficult for me too. I hurt my pelvic bone the night before we started hiking, and I had to sleep on my pelvic bone. That was pretty difficult. So, but our porter team was pretty helpful. Our cooks were really nice. So our guides were pretty good. We had 2 guides, one main guide and then one assistant guide, and one always stayed in the back and one stayed in the front. So that was kind of easy, but yet we were still kind of pushed along. And yes, they had to do that. Of course they had to do that. They had to push us along and encourage us. But I really think that I should have really stayed more calm and not allow myself to be pushed as hard, especially the second day. But here we start with the second day. Going up, you can see this is still dirt. And still kind of dirtish, but then I guess we're staying together right now still. But then the rough parts start. You can look right down. This is how far we came up. You can see down the valley, right down here. Came up all the way here already. So this is where kind of the rocks start, and it becomes pretty rocky. Beautiful. You can see here one of our porters carrying our stuff, and I don't know how many duffel bags they carried. I don't know how many for how many people they carried stuff. But look at their shoes. They're only wearing tennis shoes. You can see the rocks. They don't like the rocks either, I guess. Beautiful, beautiful landscaping. Here we have our first, well, actually, this is our lunch break in a sense. People are taking a break before the rest of the pass, before we go up to the pass. And what I didn't like is, of course, I was behind everybody, and then I come there, late, and then I was supposed to leave within 10 minutes or even less. Had a time to go to the bathroom, and then they said, well, you need to go, so you can make it to the top. So I didn't like that. So everybody had a good break, I don't know, half an hour break at least. And they wanted us to leave because, well, guess what? They wanted us to be up there almost the same time everybody else is up there. But anyways, here we are taking a break, and we really have to go. Let's see. Oops, sorry. I went too fast on this one. We have to go, of course, all the way up here. So let's go on. Here we go. There comes the steps, and you can see where we have to go. And it becomes steeper, more steps, steeper and steeper and steeper. This is how far we're already up, and we're almost up there, and here we are. Okay. Now, that was pretty simplistic, I would say. It was, and you can see me, I'm pretty happy here. I made it. And it is something that can be done, of course. I mean, going up there, you're thinking, oh, I will never make it. But of course, you can make it. So, nicely enough, this is my group, and they cheered me on. They waited for me. So, I think that was pretty nice. I'm really glad. This is a great picture. Um, there, all the way from down there up. Again, if I would have known, um, how it is, then it would have been probably easier. I just didn't know. Um, so here I am, way on top of the pass, going down. This is what we had to go down on again. And I think that is, especially even for older people, their knees. This is hard on your knees. People have a hard time, with the knees. And this is hard. This is hard. The steps, just coming down, step, step, step. It's pretty difficult. And then again, you don't have, the steps, then you're walking on these rocks, trailed rocks. But it's beautiful. It's just really gorgeous. So this is already the third day. Okay, sorry, third day. You can see down there is our camp. If you look closer, I think the next one you can see it. But this is, again, we went down from way up here. Okay, we went somewhere up here, went down, and now we're going up a little bit again. It's, of course, not as much as we did the day before, but it's a little bit. And we already came up. That third day, I went half an hour before everybody else, so I got a head start. Because, and I loved the head start. The friend that I was hiking with, she had a head start the day before, and I complained because I wanted to get a head start too, which I really enjoyed because nobody was around. I didn't have to keep up with anybody. I didn't have to wait for anybody passing me. So anyways, you can see, let me see, go to the next one. Right here are our tents. You can see that. I don't know how many groups are there. There's probably 3 groups. And then on the other side, there were some more. So maybe 5 or 6 groups were hiking every day. So Yeah, like I said, this is again the third day you had to go up these nasty steps. But again, it was doable. I really enjoyed it. I could take my time. I can stop, take a rest when I wanted to. Didn't feel like I was pushed to rush, even though we actually did much better than going behind everybody and trying to keep up with them. Here, our group is coming already. The first hikers are coming, so you can look down. This is one of the Inca ruins. Was a tower they said for the runners who were messengers, for the Inca Empire. And here they come, and I'm so glad I had a head start. Here we are taking a break. I'm not sure if we're already all the way up on top, but like I said, the third day was a lot easier. It still went up for a little bit, but again, we had time to take breaks, which was good. So we took the little break on top, and then it went down again. You can see the downs are just as horrible as the ups. Well, for me, it wasn't. I was actually okay with the downs, and I could keep up. I got tired keeping up with the kids. Just, I could keep up, but it was just tiring, and I couldn't see very much, so I slowed down. But here's Susan going down, down, down again. You can see she is going down here. You can see one of the porters again. Now they're passing us. Again, another porter in the front there. That's the trail we had to walk on, which I just did not like. Here we're going down further in the valley, and that's when the subtropical climate started. You can see there's a lot more foliage and fern, what I call it, I think it's called a Spanish moss. Um, and here's a ruin we're going to have to walk by on the bottom. We're going to go all the way down and walk by that ruin. You can see in a little bit, you can see right here, I believe somewhere are steps that you will see in a little bit. So we'll be going down. But before we go down, there was another ruin on the top, and we didn't go up. There were steps going up. I think you can see them right over here. That's where the steps go up. And I didn't want to do any more steps. So we just took pictures and went down to that, and here we are coming down. And here are these little terraces, and you can see the little steps right here going down. Okay, and that's still Inca. These are Inca ruins. These are still Inca ruins, and these are overgrown little steps there. Oh, that's so pretty. I just love it. The moss. So you can see now the moss, but you still see what? Rock steps. Rock steps. Oh my goodness. But it's overgrown now with the fern and the moss. I had to take a picture of this. I mean, do you see the solar panels for the cell phones? That's what I have been told. Cell phones. Again, I just have to show these steps. Nobody will show you these steps that you have to walk on. They're all saying, oh, they're all showing the good stuff. And that's how these young people are. Oh, this is great. Nobody wants to talk about how difficult it is. And maybe it isn't difficult for these young people. Or maybe they don't want to talk about it. Here, this is what went down. Again, I took time. I just slowed down when I could, and probably not as often as I should have. and just took some pictures. Here again are the Inca sites going down, still going down. This is how, I mean, this is how it was. We are coming down. See, right now, we're coming down on the third day, and now our group, on the way down, our group is catching up with us. So we all stopped right here. We all got together right here. Here you can see a porter taking a break. You can see the big backpacks that they were carrying. Just gorgeous. Here again, we went down some more, and all steps down in a circle. Look at that. That's my group. That's the German lady, and I believe that's the one from the United States. And she told me she sometimes stayed with me. The second day she stayed with me in the back quite a lot. I think she was in her 30s, of course, 33, I believe. And she says, well, I have to hurry up, and I thought I had to hurry up and do it before I get too old. What am I supposed to say? 62. Yes, it was definitely difficult, but I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it when I did it. Here again, steps coming down. Steps coming down. You have to actually go down from the side. Here we are almost to our third campsite. For the end of the third day. This is again an Inca ruin, and we met these llamas, and I was supposed to pass this llama. I was kind of afraid that it would spit at me, and there it is. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Well, I did dare, and then I even petted that little stinker llama, and it didn't spit. Here we are. Most of us made it right there. I think Susan is still trying to come down. She was coming down. She was slower, which I understand. I think as older people, older women, and of course older men too, they always, we usually have these knee problems, and coming down is just very hard on the knees. So I'm so glad I don't have knee problems at this point. So here we are, our group. Here is Susan finally catching up with us, and you can see here is our young porter, not porter, young guide. I don't know why I'm saying porter, but this is our young guide. Here is Washington, and this is our Roger, our young guide. He stayed with us quite a lot, and he helped us quite a lot. I mean, both of them were very, very helpful. But again, if I would give some advice to people that want to do the Inca Trail, older people, please take your time. Yes, leaving a half an hour earlier is a great thing. It was beautiful to leave a half an hour earlier because you had time. Nobody was around. You could actually see birds, and it was just peaceful. But I still would not allow them to continue to, I would want a more time to rest. Definitely. Definitely more time to rest. So anyways, here they are. We're going down. And this is the fourth day. Unfortunately, it rained that night, the third night, and everything was wet, and we even had to put our ponchos down to sit down. We had to get up at 3:30 in the morning to line up to get into the park, Machu Picchu Park, so we can go 2 hours to make it to the Sun Gate, which is just across from Machu Picchu, and it gives you this wonderful um, view of Machu Picchu as the sun rises. Unfortunately, we walked in the rain. You can see right here, it's not raining at the time, but it was wet. But right after we started hiking, um, it started raining, and it was so miserable. You can see everybody has ponchos on. Here we are already at the, it's called the Sun Gate in Tipunku. That's the Sun Gate. And we were all wet. I was wet. And that last night I got sick. I really got sick. And I should have taken maybe more vitamin C from the beginning or even a week before for my immune system to be a little stronger. But it took a lot of energy out of me. And so I really think I should have took some extra vitamin C. So this last day I had a head cold overnight. I mean, my nose was just drip, drip, drip. And that the 2 hours in the rain was, and I try to keep up with these young people. I mean, they were just going so fast. And we got to the Sun Gate, and it was, I think at that time it didn't rain anymore, but everything was soaking wet. It was just soaking wet. So here I am, and I'm standing right in front of Machu Picchu, and this is what we saw. We only saw fog, and that was nasty. I was so sick. You can see in my hand, I have what? Every time they took a picture, I have what in their hand? A Kleenex, because my nose would just drip as much as everything else. So here we go. We finally went from the Sun Gate. We had to walk a little further down to get closer to Machu Picchu, and still we didn't see the mountain behind Machu Picchu. We finally saw the ruins, of course, but no Machu Picchu. And it was very hard to actually see Machu Picchu. I don't even think we saw it. I mean, I was so sick, I had to go to the bathroom so bad. And it's like, oh my goodness, I was sick. That was not a good experience getting there. And of course, here I am. And what do I have in my hand? A Kleenex. Wet as can be. So again, this is my trip on the Inca Trail. Again, be prepared for steps. Be prepared for rocks, walking on rocks. Boost your immune system, before you go. Make sure you really rest it, before you go. And just be aware that you are hiking with mostly under 40 people, under 40. And unless you are really a good hiker, do not let them dictate your pace. Keep your own pace. Okay, keep your own pace. Don't panic. Take your time. Enjoy the trail. That's all I can say. Enjoy the trail. Well, I'm going to come to the end, and I hope you enjoyed my video. you have any questions, well, let me know on the bottom in the comment section. And this is it for this time. I will put a lot more videos on there about my travel.